15 years ago, we started Transition Garden. It's a way to use a garden to build community, to build additional strength of local control over what's going on in the outside world. Communities working more closely together, working on food production, which is important, of course, to everyone, and a way to really build that community empowerment.
Garden grows through the seasons that flow. Our garden grows, our garden grows.
What I love about my life right now is I don't actually ever plan to go work out, but everything I do that I enjoy is physically demanding. So like working in the garden, you know, I'm moving big wheelbarrows of things back and forth, shoveling, like lifting a lot, and it's great. You know, I get really strong from that, and then when I want to go swimming or something like that, then I can swim a lot better because my arms are stronger from all this lifting. And as well, like nature's huge for me, so I do a lot of hiking, and I find that very meditative. When I'm stressed out or I've got too much on my mind, just to calm down and ground myself, because I'm always touching dirt or looking at plants, and it's something to occupy myself, and something that I really enjoy. I think it's a time when you're sort of almost forced to be immersed in nature. And there's often times where you don't particularly want to go do that thing, but I find once you get in there and start doing it, it's just this sense of calm comes over me. And I really believe it has to do with touching the plants, like touching the dirt. For me, I sort of remember that I'm just, you know, this one little speck in this universe and of all these people. You know, it sort of takes me out of my head, out of all the things that I think I need to do, that I think I should do, and realize that I'm just part of this big picture, and all I'm here to do is just enjoy myself and find my passion and work through it. So, like, all of these kind of things come to me as I'm in the garden.
Well, I think of health in very broad terms. So the physical health, I think, pops into people's minds right away. You know, it's good for flexibility, it's good for strength, it's good for endurance. It gets our hearts and lungs going. So from that point of view, it covers several aspects of physical well-being, and just getting out into fresh air and sunshine and nature. You know, there's a lot of emphasis now on the health benefits of just being in nature, and I think gardening is getting out into nature. It feeds our soul. But sometimes, you know, the older we get, the more difficult it can be to do some of those gardening tasks. So already I'm starting to think about replacing some of the perennial border with flowering shrubs, less care, reducing the amount of mowing, or maybe saying, gee, that would be a good job for a neighborhood kid to take on, is mowing my lawn. I don't have to do it. Or maybe I'll invite some young people in who are looking for land to do a bit of gardening, and they could use my backyard for that. So it's really very much what suits you at your phase in life, but I like to think that there are lots of opportunities and options to do gardening differently as we get older.
I'm a gardener, but I'm also a physiotherapist. And one of the things that I see the most is back pain. About 80% of people in North America will suffer a significant episode of back pain in their life, adults. And so it's really important to prevent back pain as much as is possible. And because in the garden you're doing a lot of lifting and crouching and bending, and you're not always aware of how you're moving because you're just concerned with your gardening, then it's a really one of those places that you can really injure yourself. And I do see a lot of gardeners every year because of injuring their back. So I'm going to demonstrate 3 types of lifts that you can do, and you use the one that is really meant for the load that you're trying to lift. So if you're trying to lift something small like this off the ground, then you're going to use a different type of lift than if you're trying to lift something large off the ground. So the first type of lift is called a golfer's lift. And if you've ever watched golf and you've seen the golfers pick the ball up out of the cup, that's exactly what we're going to do. So it's a lift that's appropriate for something lightweight. So I'm just going to put my trowel on the ground and show you how to lift it. So what you're doing is you balance on one leg. You can keep the toe of the other leg on the ground if you need some balance. You can even hold on to the back of a chair or whatnot for balance if you have a balance issue. Otherwise, you can just let that leg fly and bend over to lift it up. So you plant your foot somewhere close to the load, and then as you bend, your back foot is lifting, and you just lift up. Okay? So when you do this type of lift, your back stays straight. So there's no risk of you hurting your back. Okay, I'm going to do it again and demonstrate again, and I'll just talk through it. So as you lift your leg, your back is remaining very straight, and then you bend down and grab what you want and then bring it back up. Okay, so that's a very easy lift for something lightweight. All right, now we all have ideas of what lightweight is, but I would say something under 5 pounds for sure. That type of lift would be good. The next type of lift that you will often see, it's called a half kneel lift. And so this is for something that is quite awkward, quite heavy, and you lift in a way that you place it on your knee and then you stand up with it. Okay, so something a little bit heavier that I'm going to use for this, and it's just a pot with some soil in it. And so for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get down on one knee near the load. Then you pick the load up with the strength of your arms and you put it on your knee, on top of your knee. And then what you do is you start to stand up. So you're going to push off with the leg that's on the ground, and you're going to balance this on your knee, and you can push even down on it as well, and that will give you a little bit more balance as well. So as you lift, you come up here, and then you can lift it in your arms, and it's at the height that you need to have it. So this type of lift you might want to use for 20 to 30 pounds. Okay, again, it depends on your body type, it depends on your fitness level, and it depends on the size and the weight of what you're trying to lift. So I will demonstrate that again. Okay, so again, you lift the load up on your other knee, and then as you are standing up, you can push down with your hands on the load, and it will help you keep your balance a little bit. And so then you stand up, and then you just lift from there. Okay, so again, your back is straight. You can hold your belly in a little bit, and that'll help support your back as well. But this allows you to lift something fairly heavy with not really too much of an issue at all. When you lift, you should not twist. So if you're lifting something, for example, off the ground, I can do this lift again. So as you're lifting something off the ground and you're wanting to go over there with it, as you lift, you should stand up and then move your feet. Because if you twist your back, you're going to set yourself up for a back injury. Okay, it's the most common way that people injure their back is a lift and a twist. It's very bad for the discs in your back, and people can do some damage to their discs if they do that type of lift. Okay. And then the last lift that I'm going to show you is a power lift. And so this is something you'd want to use for 40 to 50 pounds plus, depending again on your body type and how big you are and how strong you are. But again, something on the ground like this. You come in as close as you can to it. You almost want it in between your feet a little bit. Your feet are nice and wide. And you want it so when you squat down, it's directly below you. Okay, so you are going to do a squat with this. This is not the best lift for somebody who has really bad knees. You might have to do the half kneel lift for this. Okay, so as you squat down, you're just going to have it directly below your chest. You grab onto it and you stand up. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Again, your back is very straight and you're lifting with the power of your legs. Okay, so I'll show that one again. So you get close to the load that you're lifting, almost right in between your legs a little bit. And when you squat down, it should be right below your hands. And then you just grab it and stand up. Okay, really simple lift. Again, something that's much bigger, much heavier. You could lift a large box, a large bag of potting soil, whatnot, with this type of lift. And it'll protect your back.
So Bob, I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be excited. This is really good honey.
Yeah, I'm interested because I never got to see how you actually get the honey out into the jars. I've only seen the bees when we're in the garden, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you let me come over and watch this today.
Yeah. It's been a great year. Wow, we couldn't believe it. We opened up the hive and it's, I don't know, it's been warmer, sunnier, that type of thing. And the bees have gone crazy.
Yeah.
The one box, the Honey Super, there's 10 frames like this.
Nice.
We took one of them out, but that whole box has got to weigh 40 pounds probably at least. If you just feel how heavy that is, lift it by the ends.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, that's what, 4 pounds of honey right there.
That's heavy.
It's amazing.
awesome.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut all this comb off
Okay.
to get the honey out. That's one way to harvest honey.
Yeah.
So we're going to wreck the comb, but we can save the beeswax to make candles,
Okay.
things like that out of the beeswax. So let's cut this open.
All right, I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. This is always great fun. So I've got a clean, brand new chisel here.
Okay.
I could use a putty knife, clean one obviously.
Yep.
And I'm just going to go right down the comb, cut it all open. It's going to drop down into this pan here.
Okay.
All the wax, the honey, and everything. It's pretty cool. So here we go. Look at that honey.
Oh yeah.
See that? Isn't that amazing? Look at that.
Oh, see, I thought you were just cutting the outer edge off. I didn't realize. you
No,
take
the whole thing.
thing.
It's the only
Okay.
way you can get it out unless you use that extractor.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that something? It just comes gushing right out of there from those cap cells. And I always remember this one statistic that each teaspoon of honey represents the lifetime work of 40 bees.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the fun part is we put this frame, it's still all sticky with honey. We put it back in the hive and they'll clean it right up. Oh, they'll lick her clean.
And so what will they put that back into new capped cells? Or like new
Yes.
cells and capped
So
cells?
see, I cut off all the honeycomb,
Yeah.
but this is what's called the foundation underneath.
Okay.
It's wax covered, and so they have to build that comb all over again.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a lot more work for them.
Yeah.
That's why we like to do the extractor when we do a large amount of honey, because it saves the comb and they don't have to rebuild it. Is that cool or what? Yeah, amazing.
That's awesome. And so how many more supers do you think will be
Well,
filled?
we added another super,
Yeah.
and they're working on that one already. I was looking, they're going in and out of
Wow.
that one.
So you think you'll have like maybe 80 pounds of honey?
And we could potentially get 80 pounds of honey this year.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
So this is the wax, right?
That's the wax. So yeah, just get it on the edge there where it's a little bit of wax there, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So everybody want to have some details in here, or just whatever you can think of?
It's a very mild honey.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. It's a good spring honey.
I won't complain.
This camera died.
Very nice. So Jesse, what I'm going to do, let this drip for the next few hours.
Okay.
Continue dripping, and then I'm going to put this into the strainers. There's two
Okay.
strainers here, a coarse one and a fine one, and the honey will drip through, all the wax will stay on the top,
Okay.
and then we'll put it in jars.
Very nice. And how long does that take for it all to strain through?
Probably the rest of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then you don't like do anything to it. You just put it in the jars and
That's
and
it.
store it.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
Very good.
Garden grows through the seasons that flow. Our
So
garden
we got some onion, got a little bit of pepper. This is a very mild one. And I'll take the core out there. And those potatoes are starting to fry.
Could you really use the third camera, couldn't we, have a right foot above it?
Yeah. Yeah, GoPro would be really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. All right, I'm gonna do one more turnip in there. And the chili. This is gonna be kind of a hot curry. Which I'm going to need to wash. Okay. Chinese know tatsoi really, really well. It's one of their mainstays.
I like it hot in the summer and hot in the spring. I never want it to get cold. You fool me into thinking that I could be singing when the weather's not like that at all. Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, gonna let that steam for another minute or so. And then I'm gonna put these in right at the end. Hot soy.
I got to go right it back over to where I am. Turn my focus up a bit. Okay, I'm actually looking pretty good. Yeah.
Is this all right?
Yeah.
Really good. Mwah. Wow.
Garden grows, garden grows. And I know you love me.